Final race then, Class 3 over the 1,600 metres. We round things up with a Crown G handicap with Salto Olimpico at a barrier 14 for Alberto Santa. Super Fun makes his second start, as does Bigwood for Casper fans and Chad Schofield. Visitors draw for them as well. Gold Land hit the line last time behind Superform. Unicron Jury runner-up behind Superform. Fearless Fire ran in that race as well, and Agree finished fourth in that race. Bringing on behind Jolly Jean. Diamond Dragon was behind Agree last time out. Sacred Ibis behind Simply Brilliant. Got form around Unicron Jury as well, and down to Smiling Pride, who goes around with a lightweight, but he's eligible for a lower class.
As we said in race 9, it's a tricky little speed map. This is the same. Maybe Salto Olimpico, who was up on the pace in a trial at the Valley recently, could head them off. Agree and Everest to race handy. Then you've got a horse like Magnetism, who could potentially be forward, and even Unicron Jury might have to roll on from 10 and be right up there. So it's not the easiest one to pinpoint how it'll unfold.
He's done that before, Unicron Jury, hasn't he? Here's Salto Olimpico. He's going nicely here.
Thanks,
with
John.
Exactly. He'll be proud of me with that one. He's been telling me the pronunciation. Going nicely. We know it means Olympic show jumping. And he's moving well. Fearless Fire. Good piece here. Look, in the middle stages, he was pushed out. There was immediate response here from this horse. So he's going nicely enough. His run 2 starts ago was pretty good. Last start, he didn't finish 10th, but he did pull a little bit in the run. And the Sangria, we're getting into these... how is that?
You got the double.
Got the Spanish connection
You get
here.
the Spanish after that.
Yeah, he did. He won 2 starts ago, didn't he,
Right.
Sangria?
That's better.
You expect him to be in the red, don't you?
Move on with...
Yes.
Unicron Jury is where we'll start, and a whole host of others chasing home super form, and the form might be quite good as well.
Well, I made Gold Land my horse to follow from this because I thought his effort here, where he sort of raced up, as you can see in the gold colours there, hanging in a little bit, maybe under pressure. The winners are inside of him. He sort of looked a big chance, but he'd covered a lot of ground throughout the race from the wideish barrier. I just thought he battled on well. He hasn't been the most reliable horse in his career. He's had 1 win from 16 starts, and that's been it. There's been no seconds, no thirds, no fourths. But he's drawn well there, and I thought that run suggested that he might be close. So I'm going to give him a chance here in what's a tricky race.
Yeah, I've got a few coming out of that race. I've got Gold Land in there as well. I've got Unicron Jury in the numbers. I thought they both ran pretty well. And Fearless Fired, and I thought he pulled a lot in that race and still finished a close-up 10th. It was quite a bunch finish at the end.
You just make a good point there. If he pulled in that race, Jack Wong goes aboard.
Yeah.
Potentially he could be one that maybe changes the tactics and rolls forward.
All right, OK, so there's a possible question mark there. Sacred Ibis goes back up in trip. We heard from Paul O'Sullivan before this run saying he thought the tempo of the 1,400 metres would suit, but he's really a miler. Yeah,
and now he gets up to the mile. I'll stick with him. I've been with him all the time. He never runs a bad race. His problem is it's just his style. He gets back, he runs on late. If he gets the race run to suit, I think he can win easy enough. He met a very nice horse here and Simply Brilliant, and these two were pretty well clear of anything else when they hit the line. So I'll give him another chance up to a mile.
The times he runs for his last 600 are exceptional, really, and he should probably win this race. If he were to jump out and all of a sudden be midfield, you'd be very confident, wouldn't you? But as Paul said, he just struggles through that first half of the race to sort of stay in a position where he can really get at them late.
All right, Bring It On's the next horse we're going to have a look at. Was beaten a long way. Jolly Jean, the winner, who just absolutely bolted up, and we're probably still trying to pull him up now. Yeah,
he ran a class record this day, Jolly Jean, so the effort from Bring It On was quite good to actually sort of, you know, get past a few of the others, because he'd sort of broken a few hearts a long way out here, Jolly Jean. But he's been racing well, Bring It On, for the majority of the season. 1,600 metres, barrier number 8. Look, I had him on the cusp, but again, he could easily feature for me.
Yeah, he's interesting, isn't he? I mean, Jolly Jean was like you running for the train there, Brett. He was off and gone, wasn't he?
That quick, Paul.
He was off and gone. Whereas Bring It On, it was a nice run behind. He's definitely a chance, and quite an open race to finish, I thought.
Yeah. All right, OK, still one more key race to have a look at, and that's Sangria and Smiling Pride, who was well beaten here, finished last.
I made Sangria my long shot in this race behind Sharp Sailor because he'd won nicely in a lower grade earlier. I just don't know whether he'll get the pace, so that was the little off-turning factor for me. I'm happy to sit on the fence with him.
Yeah, look, 7 goes at Sharp for nothing is probably the key stat for me.
Interesting there, Smiling Pride too. Rider concerned with the horse's welfare throughout the run, so he might be worth sort of just keeping an eye on.
$40 at the moment in the market.
Yeah.
So Sacred Ibis is our favourite and quite an open end to the programme, Paul.
I'll go with him because we'll give him his chance up to a mile with a good draw for the first time. So we'll go with Sacred Ibis. As Brett said, he runs some pretty good times. I think he's a really nice horse. Goldland did catch the eye at his last start, and from barrier number 5 should get into a nice place. Fearless Fire, we'll give him a chance again. He should be a decent price. What is he, $45? He is a good price. And Unicron Jewellery for 4th. QQP's 5, 7, 11.
I'll tip Goldland, horse to follow, and I thought he ran well. He's drawn better. He's not reliable, as his record would suggest. Interesting, Chad Schofield rode him on that occasion, and Chad's sticking with Bigwood, a horse he's been aboard in his last 2 trials, who's had some lameness issues. So I'll be watching the market with Bigwood, but I'll tip the 5. Sacred Ibis is definitely the one to beat. I think whatever beats Sacred Ibis will win it. So 5 to beat 11, 6 Unicron Jury's racing well. Agree's another one that might get up on the pace, but there's a whole heap of different permutations you can go with how this will all set up, Andrew, and that's what makes it a bit tricky. But 5 to beat 11.
Yeah, well, I got Sacred Ibis on top as well, so I had the 11 on top in the last. Straight into the stats then, and this week, Paul, we're focusing on Frankie Law, his all-weather record, but we're honing in on the 1650 races.
Yeah, because it's quite exceptional, isn't it? He's had 35 runners for 9 wins, 4 seconds, 4 thirds as well, for a good win rate there of 26%. So let's have a look and see what horse he's got over the 1650. Oh, it's my best bet, Dr. Win-Win. That's a surprise. He runs nicely with this particular stats, and he was a good winner last start, and no reason why he can't win again.
All right, well, that's a nice segue into the best bets, which is Dr.
Win-Win.
Win-Win.
Let's hopefully he can win again. Dr. Win-Win, Jack Wong, very lightweight, and straight to the front. Catch me if you can, I think, with him. So he's the best, and the long shot I'm going to make is Honest Horse. Ran really nicely at Happy Valley last time against the trend. Comes to Sharton, where he's won before for similar rating. He's about $18, so like him as the long shot. Don't like it. I like the price of that thing in the last as well, which is Fearless Fire. But my play will be in race number 4. Nice and easy there. Simple as 1, 2, 3, Brett.
Yes, that it is, Paul. Let's hope so. Look, the newcomer's going to be very interesting, but I think Superwise, C+3, good barrier, lightweight, will give him a really good run. So on an each-way basis, I'll go with Superwise. I'll make the long shot Dundonald. He'll have to be ridden quietly and maybe close off, coming back in trip with a wider barrier. And I'll make the play in that race with Not Listening to Me, who Andrew will speak up in a moment about, Born in China and Dundonald in the QQP.
Yeah, I'm going to make Not Listening to Me the best. He hoping to be an each-way price as well. With Matthew's claim, it makes him very competitive. Out of Group 1 company, 3 and a bit lengths off DB Pin last time out. He's not running here. So Not Listening to Me the best in race number 7. The long shot, Kieran, well, he got home for his last time in 3rd, chased home Dr. Win-Win. Paul says Dr. Win-Win will win again. So Kieran for a place in race 6. And as far as the play is concerned, we'll include Kieran along with Calculation and Travel Emperor. So race 6 to 12 and 13 there.
Andrew, we discussed last week about Frankie Law debut season. The record is actually held by John Size, 58 winners from 291 runners on his debut season, John Size. So he's a chance, Frankie, currently on 40.
He's closing in on him. Paul, Brett tells us Exultant's going to win the Derby.
Yes.
Your thoughts?
I think Singapore Sling is the one to beat on his winner over the Classic Cup, I thought. So I do like Exultant as well. Rocketeer, I think, is the one's gone under everyone's radar because he hasn't raced against these other horses. He's been racing well against the older ones.
Singapore race day 2 might be something there.
There you go. We'll find out next week. That's the show, though. Thanks for watching. On behalf of Paul, Brett and the rest of the team, hopefully we'll see you at Shartin when we will be racing to win.
Good night.
Good night.